lesson this evening. I'm very happy that you joined, so many of you from so many different places. Some of you been able to also indicate where you're from, where you're based, which is really wonderful. So actually, I don't want to talk too much, just one or two words of housekeeping. First is this recording, this session will be recorded, as we had also announced it in the invitations, and also for you to watch it later on. We'll have, of course, work to do. This is a lesson after all. So, we'll be working with breakout rooms as well. If there are any technical problems, Wendy and Karina and myself will be happy to help. So just drop us a message in the chat if you need any technical help at all. And then after, of course, our lesson, which will take roughly 60 minutes, there will be also the opportunity to ask some questions. So, because really the main focus is just on having fun with Simon and just being back in the classroom, but on the other side of students this time. So thanks everyone. Over to you, Simon.
Thanks, Pierre. Yeah, welcome everyone. Just briefly, I'm English and now German. Thanks to Brexit, I've got dual nationality, and I live in Berlin, and I've been working at the Volkshochschule in Berlin for the last 23 years. And we're very lucky because we get to choose a lot of the books we use. And I've been using this book roadmap, which I'm going to present to you today, for a couple of years now. It's a brand new book. I have actually teaching this book. So the lesson I'm going to do with you today is one I've done with my students, and I've done also with a few teachers to present the book. But let's imagine you are my student. So I know your English is at a higher level than B2, but I'm going to imagine that you're my student and treat this as a class. As Pierre said, hopefully we'll have some fun. And what I need to do is to put you into breakout rooms occasionally. And I'm sure you're all familiar with Zoom. You've probably had to work with Zoom a lot. But when I put you into the breakout room, if you can't join automatically, just click on the button. It will invite you to join the breakout room. Please do so. When I close the breakout room, it gives you 60 seconds and it will tell you you can do nothing and you will automatically come back into the main room here. Or if you've finished, you want to stop, you can click exit and you can just leave the breakout room before time. But make sure you tell your partner. Don't just sort of disappear and leave them in there. Okay, but don't panic. If you're in your breakout room, you can leave, exit, you can call me in, etc. Okay, and there's a new function on Zoom, which I just found out about a couple of days ago. You can now share a screen in the breakout room, which is nice. So I'll be doing a lot of that because normally my students have all got the book and we're actually in the classroom again, which is nice. We don't know if we're going to manage to last much longer in the classroom, but we are back in the classroom. But even online, normally my students would have the book in front of them as well. But today we'll be working with screenshots from me. I'll be showing you things from the book, etc. Okay. All right. To begin, I am going to show you some pictures. I'll just share my screen to give you an idea. And in these pictures, you can see various things. And what I would like you to do is I'm going to set up the breakout rooms, stop sharing, and I will give you these pictures again in the breakout rooms. And I'd like you to chat together about what you think the pictures are there for. Why have I given you those pictures? What's going on? Okay. If you finish, and I'll give you about 3 minutes, and you've got time, then talk about your favorite drink, for example. There's some Coca-Cola there. Do you like Coca-Cola? There's a cat. Do you like cats? Do you prefer dogs? Etc. etc. Okay. I've put 14 breakout rooms. My maths isn't great. It should be about 3 in each, but let's see. Okay, so I'm going to hit create, and then could you join your breakout room, please? And I'll send you the pictures. And after about 30 seconds, I'll take them away because the problem is screen sharing in a breakout room. You can't actually see yourselves. Okay, so I'll put them in at first so you've got an idea, and then I'll remove them after about 30 seconds. Okay, have fun. See if you can work out why I've given you these pictures, please. Okay, the rooms are opening. Okay, let's go back to the pictures. I won't screen share because you can probably remember them, but did anyone find, what do you think? What's going on with these pictures? Would anyone like to suggest something? There's a common thread.
Oh, all right. I didn't find the common thread.
Okay,
I'm curious to hear what other people said
Yeah.
about the cat picture. For me, I thought it was a motion-censored way to kill a cat. It seemed to be like a very dark, macabre.
No, it's not diabolical.
No? All right.
Anyone got an idea on the cat picture? What did that represent?
The cat has been
Are you
killed.
sure, Astrid?
No, I'm
That
not
was
sure. It's just
Schrodinger's cat.
And that's the point. Is the cat dead or isn't it?
hopefully not.
Well, let's hope. There's always hope. Where there's a will, there's a
Well,
way.
there is a
And
proverb in Germany that cats have 9 lives.
same in English.
Seven.
7. Okay, I was too generous there.
But in the United States, they have
lives
9.
in English.
9.
Anyway, let's take that cat.
They won
and
the
let's
lotto.
think. We've got the, is the cat alive? Is the cat dead? Then we have, let's take the drinks. What do we have? Can anyone remember?
Well, actually, we thought
Oh.
that it might be about sustainability and recycling, because
Nope.
actually all of these were cans and one way.
No, but it's a good suggestion.
Maybe
No.
Coke, because they created Father Christmas.
Okay, let's take, you saw Coke, and what was the other one?
River was the other
River
one.
Cola.
We thought it was 2 brands.
It is.
One cheap, one expensive, I suppose.
It's to do with taste. Which is
Likes,
better?
dislikes.
Yes, which is better, River or Coke? It depends where you grew up. Depends what you're used to. Some people swear by River Cola. So we've got, is the cat alive and dead? Which is better? We had a pizza. Can anyone remember what was on the pizza?
Meat.
Pineapple. Yeah.
Pineapple, yes.
Pineapple.
Do you have pineapple on your pizza or not? Okay. We had milk. Milk, I've given you the answer. We had tea. What's the question with tea
So
and
do you
milk?
put the milk in before or after
Yes.
the tea?
Good. And then we had a little animal, very cute.
No,
Chicken.
what was first question?
Chicken and the
Chicken.
Which comes first?
yes. So these are all examples of what?
Oh gosh. We didn't get that.
Doesn't matter. Now you can.
Choices.
Joyce.
Choices, making a choice.
Yeah, choices, dilemmas. Good. Yes, choices, dilemmas. You know, which do we do? What choices, etc. Yes. And the whole point of that is to introduce the lesson, because the lesson is all about arguments. And arguments can be negative, they can be positive, they can be discussions, etc. We've got lots of lovely words to do with arguments, you know, rows and so on. But I wanted to give you a chance to talk about it and find out all the common things. And now I'm going to try again, and I'm going to I'm going to press the button that says recreate the room. So it should do it manually and put you in with someone else. It may not, it's a computer, it just decides. And we're going to take the first page of the book, and the book starts off with 3 pictures. Let me just share my screen and show you what I mean. And we go to back to the cats, and I'll just move it on here. And we've got 3 pictures at the top, and you've got the child being sent to his room. You've got the maybe couple, we don't know, but rowing over in the car, and we've got an accident and who is to blame. And what I would like you to do is just to have a little chat about these situations with your partner or partners. Have you ever been in these situations? Do you remember as a child? Or if you have children, do you ever have to send them to their room? Does it work? What did you do when you were a child in your room? What about driving, etc.? Who does the map reading? Is it the sat nav? Do you argue with it? All these things. Could you have a little chat, please, about these pictures? Okay. I'm not going to screen share. I'm just going to put you in your rooms, but you've got driving accidents, you've got arguments when you're driving, and you've got disciplining children, sending them to bed, etc. So let me click on recreate rooms, and I'll let it do it automatically. And then I'll open the rooms, and I'll give you about 3 minutes. names and so on. But let's move along because the clock is ticking as ever. And I'm going to share my screen with you. And let's go down a little bit and look at this reading part. Okay. And what I would like to do is just to choose someone and ask you to read a couple of sentences. Okay, so Ina, could you begin, please? And just begin with, was it really worth it, and the when.
Okay.
Can you see?
When was the last time you had a minor disagreement with someone you know or a stranger? The chances are it was not that long ago.
Good, thank you.
But was it really worth it?
Good, lovely, thank you. And Christina.
Yes, Sammy.
Yep. Surely?
Shall I read?
Okay, if you could just continue with surely life is too that bit.
Okay, yep. The chances are it was not that long ago, but it really worth it. Surely life is too short to worry about the small things. We asked 3 readers to tell us about their experiences.
Good. And I'm sorry, I can see the name Karl Heinz's partner. Could you continue? Maggie, thank you.
I was already a vegetarian when I first met my future mother-in-law, and straight away we didn't see eye to eye. She told me she thought vegetarianism was childish and ridiculous.
Good. And Sue, could you continue, please? You're muted, Sue. So if you could continue.
I was brought up not to contradict my elders, but I really had an issue with what she said. I told her vegetarianism was sensible and ethical and that she should try it.
Thank you. And Jill, you're muted as well. Could you continue, please?
Instead, she tried to tempt me with all sorts of tasty meat dishes from her part of the country. I refused to eat any of them.
Quite rightly. I have to confess I'm a vegan. And I've been for 20 years. So yes, so I like this bit of the book. Right, let's carry on. Matt, you're muted as well. Could you go to number 2, please?
A couple of years ago, I clashed with my co-workers. It was a tricky situation because I was only an intern, but they gave me loads of photocopying to do
And
from
Janet,
the start.
you're muted as well. Could you continue, please?
After a week, I told them I wasn't going to do any more because I wasn't learning anything. This caused a big argument, of course, and some of my co-workers ganged up on me and said I was being disrespectful.
Thank you. And Anna, could you continue?
But in the end, my boss intervened and they backed down. Strangely, I got a wonderful card from them when I left.
Thank you. And Klaus, you're muted. Could you go to number 3, please?
My flatmate picks a fight with me every time I cook because she says I make a big mess. Actually, I do clear up, but not always immediately.
Good. And Fatma, please, could you continue? Usually, can you see it?
Trying to write something. Yeah,
usually.
Okay. Usually, I want to enjoy my meal first and relax. Why should I be apologetic about that?
Good. And Belinda, you're muted. Could you finish it off, please?
Okay. It's not exactly the crime of the century. We should probably try to find a compromise, but that's difficult because the underlying issue is that she's a hopeless control freak and I'm not.
Indeed. Good. Right. What I would like to do this time is I'm going to give you an exercise from the book. And again, I'm going to put you back into your breakout rooms. Okay. And I would like you to match. So when we read the text, you saw little pieces in bold. You saw phrases, sometimes a phrasal verb, etc. And then I'm going to give you 10 definitions, and you need to decide which phrase fits with which definition. Okay? I'll screen share and I'll leave it up for you, and I won't give you too long, just a couple of minutes, because I'm sure you'll just go straight through this. It'll be fine. Okay? Then let me recreate, mix you up a little bit, and open the rooms, and then I'll start screen sharing.
You can start preparing. Please.
Yeah, here we go. You should all be moving. able to compare. All right, let's do it together here, and just quickly take that one, and it's here. Can everyone see it here at least?
No.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you can all see it on here. I'm just going to make you guys bigger on this screen so I can see. And what I wanted you to do in the breakout rooms, but it's no problem, we can do it here, is if you look on the right, it says I had a disagreement or fight with them. I clashed with them. So we're taking the words from here and putting them in here. Does anyone have an idea for number 2? They realized they were wrong and stopped arguing. Just shout it out.
Back down.
Good, very good. If you back down, yep, if you back down, good. And number 3, we agree on a solution that's acceptable to both of us.
Find a compromise.
Yes, very hard thing to do. But yes, find a compromise. Good. To say the opposite.
Contradict.
Very good. My boss, number 5, got involved.
Intervened.
Intervened. Good. You intervened.
Intervene.
And number 6, we didn't have the same opinion.
Didn't see
eye to eye.
Yes. There's a nice idiom. We didn't see eye to eye. Good. Starts an argument.
Pick a fight.
Yes. Good. Picks a fight. Picks a row. The basic problem.
Underlying issue.
Yes. Good. Underlying. And I really found it difficult to accept.
Had an issue with.
Yes, good. You have an issue with something, etc. And finally, they formed a group against me.
Ganged up on.
Yes, lovely. Very good. All right, that's what I wanted you to do. But as I said, yeah, the internet went down. I disappeared, and you were stuck in the breakout rooms. In that case, if something really goes wrong, you can exit. You can all leave your breakout room. The problem was the people who did that, they came back to nothing as well, because I wasn't on. It wasn't until I was able to rejoin. But please, if there's a problem, just leave the breakout room, come back into the main screen, and then we can work together. Okay, but let's speed up a bit, because we want to move on. And this I'd like to do without breakout rooms, not because it's all going wrong. It's not, but because what I would like to do with you is to move on to another little thing from here. So let's go to this part.
Bring me
What I would like us to do is to think about endings of words. And we've got here, for example, the beginning is child, and you need to think of endings. And could you, in the chat, if you click on your Zoom at the bottom, you've got a chat function. So underneath, and if you click on in there, could you write in the chat as many endings as you can for child? So we're thinking about the ending of the word.
Only the ending.
Just the, yeah, I mean, you can put the whole word if you wish, that would be nicer, but we're concentrating on the ending. So don't think about any negatives at the beginning, prefixes, it's the ending, the suffixes.
Adjectives or anything?
Oh, anything, anything. Yeah.
Childhood.
Yeah, put it in the chat if you could. Okay. And I'm just going to stop this because I've got to click a bit. And let's see if we've got here. Yep, there it is, all coming in. It's very nice. And let's take, there's a different, yes, because a lot of you come up with childish and childlike, etc. What's the difference between childish and childlike? Can anyone explain?
Sure. Childish is negative.
Good, yes.
It's behaving like a child.
Yes,
if you think someone should rather behave a little bit more grown up.
Very good. And the other one, childlike?
Childlike, it's more positive. You can enjoy something like a child, for instance.
Yes, or you can say you have a childlike complexion, etc. Except childlike innocence.
Fantasy, or I don't know.
But you're absolutely right, Astrid. Very good. It's positive and negative. Yes, you've got childish, negative, childlike. Good. Let's take another one. The problem is, sorry, it's just the technology. When I share the screen, I can't see your chat. So just keep writing in the chat. I'll just give you a few seconds, but I can't see what you're writing, and then I'll have to stop sharing and come back to that. let's take, let's go to number three. So sense. So could you pop in the chat something with sense? Okay, and I'll stop the share. So something with sense, could you pop it in the chat? So sense we need. Okay, only a couple have seemed to have done it. Is everyone else thinking? Just put it, yes, lovely. Okay, not as many this time, but no problem. Let's take, there's a couple of nice words because it brings us straight to problems with German, sensitive and sensible.
Yeah.
Would anyone like to have a go at that? Can you explain where's the problem that comes up with this?
Sensible is rational,
yes.
And sensitive is getting emotional very easily.
Yes, good. You are maybe affected by things. Yes, exactly. You could have sensitive skin as well. Don't forget, you've got a lot of skin products which are for sensitive skin. And why might students have a problem with these two words?
It's one of those friends.
Basically. Good. Yes, very good. So yes, you got, and I usually tell them, think of skin products, because that really gives them a clue, because you all just see this without thinking about it. You know, you pick up your shampoo and it often has English words on there, shampoo for me, etc., conditioner, and so on. Good, let's do one last one, and then we'll try something else. So again, same thing, I'm going to share my screen, and could you go to the last one, hope? So could you put on some endings with hope? And just put them in the chat, please. Okay, I'm going to stop the share and just have a look at the chat. What have we got coming in? Give me hope, Joanna. Yes. I'm just laughing. I'm not in a nasty way, but my lovely girlfriend was due to fly to South Africa on Friday.
Oh.
So I get to see more of her at the moment.
South Africa.
Yes, when she booked it, I mean, yeah, lovely. And then the thing is, she stayed in Berlin, and Saturday it snowed. Not much, but enough. She was, should have been 20 degrees. Good.
So in hope, but it didn't work.
She did. It was a hopeless situation. Good. And very nice. Matt, I can see you've got hopelessness. Good. Some of you are more positive. I'm trying to look. Yeah, it's kind of 50-50 between positive and negative here. Good. But you've got hopeless, hopeful, and a couple of extra S's in there as well. So very nice. All right. So if we'd had more time, then I would have got you to look at all of these. But what I would like to do is just move down to a little problem, and I'll share the screen. And we talked about one of these parts. So let's look at the adjectives here. And we go down, 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 and we talked here about, can you all see child and childish? And as Astrid explained, and they just put here in the book, being silly, childish, negative, and we had childlike, and this is positive. And then they've got here tricky, but let's concentrate on these words here, because these are words that often can be confusing. So even with high levels, and this is B2, they still struggle with this. So let's think about economical and economic. Can anyone explain? Would anyone like to take a go?
I think economical means just like energy efficient, for instance, and economic is to do with economy.
Very good. Yes, but yes. But the thing is, yes, if you can't say it's an economical question unless you're, as you say, talking about saving, as in saving energy, etc. But yes, an economical car doesn't use much.
You can say
very good.
An economical truth.
Oh, very nice. Yes, what's that?
Oh, well, an economical truth is much less than the truth. It's a euphemism for a lie,
yes.
really.
Do you remember? It's the spy catcher, isn't it? It was from that days. He said, "I didn't lie in court." He said, "I was economical with the truth." And it's lovely. If you're ever bored and you want a nice lesson for higher level students, just Google parliamentary language. So parliamentary language, and this is in the UK Parliament, we have rules on what you are allowed to say, and you cannot say you are a liar. So you can use phrases such as you've been economical with the truth. Okay? And it's a lovely lesson. If you've got higher level, you can find it. You go onto Wikipedia, but you'll find it if you just put in parliamentary language, and you can get them to discuss, why the words, etc. It's very nice. But let's go back to this because B2. And another tricky one: a classic dress and classical music. Would anyone else like to give us an explanation for this one? I'm just thinking anyone. Yeah, go
Timeless,
on.
a timeless dress.
Very good.
One that suits all occasions, all years. And classical music is a certain genre of music, mostly instrument.
Good. And often my students say, I like classic music. And I say, oh, like Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody. And then they go, no, well, that's classic. It's a classic song. And it's often mixed up. Good. And let's take the last one. Historic moment and a historical novel. Anyone care to venture an explanation?
A historic moment is one that will be remembered posthumously, and a historical novel is a novel that talks about a particular time in history.
Very good. So if you say it's a historic moment, a historic event, it is making
period
history.
of time.
Yeah, it is making history, and a historical novel is set in a historical period. Yes, good. It's like you said before, Janet, and well done. You said classical, it's of a time, that time period, and historical of a period of history. But historic is making. Trump, I'm not sure if he got it quite right. I just read it briefly. He just described the Queen as I think he described her as a historical lady. I'm not sure. I have to check again. But he weighed in on the Meghan Markle debate. So Trump is lecturing Meghan Markle on how to behave to the royal family. All right, very nice. Let's come out of that. And what I would like to do, just to get you to work again together, I'm going to trust the technology, and I'm going to try and put you back into breakout rooms, and I'm going to try and screen share again. Okay? If it all goes wrong, please just leave the breakout
Could it
room.
be that we switch off our cameras? Then maybe it's not so intense. So then,
how about you share the screen before the breakout room? We take a photograph of the screen, and then we can take it in with us.
Okay, we'll do that. I mean, I'm
that
just
way
very
you know
pleased
that
with
we've
you.
got what we need to take in with us to the breakout room.
Yeah, all right. Let me come to the share screen then, but just give me a second to move it along. So it's this one here. If you've all got your mobile phones, but I will still try and share it with you because it should work. So that's what I would like you to take into your breakout room. It's number 6A, and you've got 16 words. Okay. So if you could take a screenshot. The thing is, I now have to stop sharing because I have a choice of where to share it to, and then I have to click breakout rooms. And because you're not in them, that's why first I have to put you into the breakout rooms and then share the screen. Okay, so bear with me. I will just come out of that. So I'm going to stop share. I'm going to set up the breakout rooms again, recreate. I'll put you in, and then I will screen share again to you. Okay, wish me luck. If you have a problem, just leave the breakout room, please. Everyone has come back. You were given these 4 words. Let me try again. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to share sound with you, give you these words pronunciation here. So you should all be able to see them. Can everyone see them fine?
Yes.
Yep. Let's listen to them reading the first. Can you still see them? Or can you see the application? Can you still see the words?
Yes.
Yep. Right.
Recording 8. 1. poisonous, dangerous, outrageous,
Did everyone get
curious.
Outrageous. Good, good. Just while we're there, because it's a lovely word, outrageous. What if I want to say this something is, it's not just outrageous, it is the biggest outrageous thing. How can I quantify outrageous?
Most
Yes, and just think of a nice little word.
Totally.
Totally, good. Think of another word similar to totally that I could use it. This is totally outrageous. This is
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, good. And you've got to stress it. And what am I getting at? What is outrageous and what is something like bad? What's the problem that often we have with these words? What's the difference between outrageous and bad?
What are they called? Absolutes and extreme adjectives.
Extreme adjectives, yes. And you can use totally, absolutely. And there's a little word you can use for any adjective. So I can't say it's very outrageous because that's wrong. If it's outrageous, it's absolutely outrageous. But what could I say for any?
Literally?
You know, if I want to say it.
Really?
Really, good, really. Yeah, really is the key word. So I always teach my students really. What's the problem with really?
It's overused.
Yes, very true, because it's safe and we can use it for everything. But think about a style of English. Where can't I use really?
In a formal letter.
Yes, exactly. So they still got to know all this. But yes, really is a safe word. Good. All right, let's go to the second group of words. And again, pick up on the odd one out.
2. Advisable. Acceptable. Comfortable. Adaptable.
Good. Yeah. And it's a lovely word. It's very hard for non-native speakers. And again, native speakers, we all disagree on it anyway. I say comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable.
I'm from the South,
Yeah.
so it's comfortable. It's not comfortable, whatever that was. It's comfortable, but it's lovely to discuss these words with you. Okay, let's go to 3.
Delightful.
Be moving, sorry.
Colorful. Colorful.
3. Colourful. Delightful. Respectful.
Colourful. Colourful, as you were saying. Yep, good. Very good. That's colourful. What's interesting about
One's
spelling?
American English and one's British English.
Good. Exactly. This one is
British
and I'm
English.
sure all your students ask you the same question,
Yeah.
which is better?
No, they don't ask because they already know.
Mine do ask because they're provocative. And it's a very hard question to answer. Apple seems to have resolved it by calling American English English now. English is the subgenre. So, all right. Well, all right, let's see. And the last one.
Tradition.
Accidental. Confidential. Traditional.
Accidental.
Universal.
Traditional. Yes. Yes. It's where the stress is. Traditional, and it was accidental. It's a third syllable stressed word.
Universal. Tradition.
All right. I'm going to come out and I'm going to do one final thing with you. I wish I had more time, but because of all the hiccups and so on. But let's see. The final thing is we've been talking about lots of things going on here with words and with arguments and discussions. And the nice thing about Roadmap is you get an awful lot of material for your students. So I've jumped over bits just purely because of time, but they like to put students in together and get them to talk. So what I'm going to do is to show you with the screen share first. And if you wish a photo, if that works well for you, do, but let me just get it to pop up here and move it on. It says here, speak compromise. Can you all see? It's a little role play. And you've got students A and students B. So if you just want to take a photo,
can you make it a big? a bit bigger? It's too small for my eyes.
Unfortunately, I can't, because then I can't put it together.
Okay.
What I want to do, can you sort of take a, have you got a
I'll
camera?
take a photo and then just zoom it in.
Just concentrate on one side, and then it'll work. Yeah. Normally, I mean, just to point out, and I should have, normally your students will have them. I mean, my students all have the physical book, but there are e-books available, etc. So I'm just screen sharing with you the whole time, which is a little bit counterproductive, but it's the way I'm trying to get the book to you. But normally you've got a physical book or the e-book, and then the students don't have to do this. They have it in front of them, they can see it. So when you put them into breakout rooms, they can look at each other and just look down at the text in front of them, okay? But this is how I'm doing. Right, so I'll stop. And what I would like you to do in a minute in the breakout room, if you're in a 2, one of you be A and the other B. And if you're in a 3, could one of you be A, say, and 2B? So you've got backup with your argument, okay? I mean, just see who's in you. If you're on your own, I will try and move you. I'll try and keep a very close eye, but this is the last thing we'll do today in the breakout rooms, okay? So could you just quickly decide, okay, we'll start off, you know, moaning, but I'll put it in for you as a screen share, but I'll take it down after just a few seconds, okay? So let me spare. Let me recreate my breakout rooms. There we go. I'll open the rooms, ask you to go in, please. And then I will. No, they're all motivated. All right, guys. Thank you firstly for your patience, because yeah, it was a nice, honest lesson in how Zoom can work and not work. That there is that screen share in breakout rooms, which is great. But when the internet goes down, and there's not much you can do. But we're not going to rush away. If you have to leave, I'm going to say on my behalf, thank you, and then pass this over to Pierre, Karina, and Wendy as Pearson reps, and I will still stick around for a little bit before I have to go and teach. If you've got any questions, would be happy to spend some time talking to you about them, etc. So I'll hand over. Pierre, could you take over? And
Sure. So thanks, Simon. That was great. Thank you for a nice lesson. I think that we would generate a lot of discussion, whether it's about teaching or even about roadmap itself. So that was really, really nice. And thanks to everyone for joining and staying. Wendy's put forms in the chat, so it's very brief. You just need to put in your name, email, and then what would you like from us. If you'd like to have an ebook or even a physical copy of the book or anything else for that matter, book related, please put it in the form. So we're happy to stay on for a couple of minutes to chat. Any questions that you have to Simon or to us, feel